Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Yap House Podcast, episode 12. I know it's been a while since I've dropped an episode. I've been very, very busy. I've also been sick. I also got sick last week, so those were some challenging times. Obviously, I was going to record an episode last week, but wound up sick, and I probably still am a little bit right now. But I'm doing great right now. I just want to get the little bit of the sad, the bad out of the way first, so we don't really have to talk about it at all again. I do want to start off this episode with severe prayers and condolences to the Gaudreau family. If you guys don't know, world famous hockey player Johnny Gaudreau and his brother Matthew passed away. I think it was last week in a biking accident. They were killed. They were killed by a drunk driver. Very, very unfortunate that happened. It was and I woke up to it, and it was just absolutely shocking. I woke up like that Friday to that news, and I just stood there in absolute shock. Like, there's absolutely no way this happened. And then I obviously search up more and more news, and I'm like, oh yeah, it definitely happened. And yeah, and I had jogging class that morning, and it was very difficult to jog with that in mind. It's easily like one of the most shocking, athlete deaths like I've had to go through probably since like Kobe. I know there have also been, tragic former current athletes that have passed away at a young age, but this one hit extra hard because I've obviously been watching him since I was very, very young. Like, even though he hasn't been on any, so even though he's never played for the Devils, like he's obviously played against us and you know done. He's put up some stats against us, and very, very, yeah, very emotional. Obviously played for Calgary and Columbus. Loving father, husband. I think he had two kids, something like that. But two or three kids or something like that. But yeah, and it was also very sad because um, his sister was supposed to get married that day, and yeah, very unfortunate, but I love what they did. They had like this huge, well, like outside the Scotiabank Saddledome in Calgary, like you could hear a pin drop out there, and then fans were just like putting flowers and letters on the steps of the Saddledome. It was some tough times, but oh yeah, it also just sucks because he's from New Jersey as well. From New Jersey, and that's why it hit extra hard when he passed away. So very, very sad. Condolences to the Gaudreau family, Johnny and Matthew. They will be missed, and I hope this season will be played for them. The season will be played for them for sure. So we're over 3 weeks into this semester, and I gotta say, there have been some ups and downs. There have been some ups and downs so far. There have been tons of crazy moments so far, like what I've had to go through and stuff like that. Obviously, being sick is one of them. Couldn't do anything. Couldn't go to the gym. Couldn't really go outside much. I mean, well, obviously, I tried to go outside to, cure it, walk around, obviously, take a bunch of medicine, eat well, just do the normal things to, cure yourself from sickness. And because we're like so young these days, our bodies are able to heal quickly. But yeah, it just sucks that to get sick like that. I just feel like, I have this feeling like everyone gets sick now. So because it's like all those new germs that are coming from the freshmen. Like I saw this video of these two couples at Mike's, and they were like making out, and somebody got them on film, and it's like, well, bro, why would you film them? Like, that's not cool. But it for some reason got posted on Instagram, and I commented like, no wonder I got sick. Like, all because like all these germs from the freshmen and everything are just like spreading, and it's causing some illnesses around here. But I'm all better now, and I'm fully good to do whatever I want. I've obviously been hitting the gym as much as I can. Obviously, adding swimming to my workouts as well. And the swimming is a lot of fun. It's a lot harder than it looks on TV. Let's just get that out of the way. Swimming is so much harder than it looks on TV because like the reason why I wanted to start doing swimming was because of the Olympics. Like the Olympics inspired me to, start adding swimming in my workouts. And if you guys don't remember, like when I was talking to David and Dylan in episode 8, we were saying that swimming will give you like nasty back muscles and stuff like that. And yeah, I'm looking forward to more swim sessions this semester. The most I've swam so far is 10,000 meters. It's like obviously with breaks as well, but yeah, 10,000 meters is the or no, not 10,000. What? Just 1,000. I'm sorry. The most I swim is 1,000. 1,000 meters. That's all. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4. That's about 100 meters, and just do that 10 times. 2 strokes, front crawl and breaststroke. Yeah. So yeah, just 1,000 meters, not 10,000. 1,000. And yeah, sorry if y'all got a little confused. I could never swim 10,000. Like I don't even know any of these like pro athletes could do that. I mean, they probably could if they took like a lot of breaks, but um, yeah, we'll see. But this is what a day in my life looks like. There's two versions of a day in my life. So there's Monday, Wednesday, Friday when I have 3 classes, and Tuesday, Thursday when I have just one. The Monday, Tuesday, and the Monday, Wednesday, and Friday version of a day in my life will look like I get up at 6:30 a.m. Get up at 6:30 a.m. So very very early. I just drink like some water, Gatorade, maybe some orange juice, stuff like that, and then I go to my jogging class. So the jogging class can be a little tiring, if you aren't in shape or not, but I am in shape, so I'm not really getting that tired. But obviously, as we go along, we're gonna jog more and more, so I'll probably like get more tired as we go along, or maybe not. I feel like the more we jog, it'll help me like get less tired. So yeah. The most we've jogged so far is a little over a mile and a half. So that's good. And we have to jog a 5K at the end of the semester. So yeah, that's gonna take some work to do. But it's literally just running. It's literally all running in this brand new field house that's only about 2 years old. That's next to the gymnastics facility and our basketball stadium, and it's very very nice. Obviously, it looks brand new, and it's got this beautiful like weight training area. It's got a basketball court, like behind that. Like there was one day, where it rained, we didn't jog, and some of the boys and I would just play basketball. It was a lot of fun, and I mean, if it rains more, we get to do that, and yeah. So then there's jogging, and then which is at 7:30 a.m. Jogging at 7:30 a.m. It's tough, but we got to get through it. Got to get through it for three months, something like that. So, and it's 3 days a week as well. So definitely not going to be easy, but we're gonna push, and hopefully we come out on top. And then I have like this broadcast journalism class immediately after. It's basically like what I did with Tiger TV. You learn how to use the cameras, use Premiere Pro, which I use to edit these podcast videos. And Premiere Pro is outstanding. It's what I've used to edit videos pretty much like at the start of college for me. But yeah, we're gonna make news stories in there. So what we have to do right now is gotta make some kind of like mini movie, like 60 seconds. We gotta have like a plot, character, and like the goal of the character or something like that. You gotta make like a story a little bit, and that's what we're gonna do. And then we just make news stories. I have to do 3 of them um, for the semester, and hopefully I can make some good news stories because I'm obviously not that much of a news guy. I'm more of a sports guy, but hopefully I can find some more sports news stories, and yeah, I could make stories out of that. I know I'm probably gonna have to watch the news more, which honestly I don't like doing, but because I obviously like watching, football, baseball, stuff like that. But this will probably be like the one time where I absolutely have to, because it's part of being a reporter, part of being a journalist. So gonna have to turn on the news at some point. I have some of my I have some of my friends already in that class, so hopefully we come out strong in that class. And then immediately after that, I have I can see it right here. I have this. I have this kind of kinesiology, sport administration, athletic training class. I mean, it's not really. Yeah, it's athletic training based, but it's part of the School of Kinesiology. I have to take it because I am minoring in sports studies, so we're just learning about like the history of kinesiology, sport, where the term came from, and stuff like that. It is pretty interesting, and hopefully I can do well in this class, and hopefully I get an A. You have to take the exams in Himes Hall, which, if you're an LSU friend of mine, you know it absolutely sucks to take exams in Himes Hall, but hey, we got to deal with it anyway. Um, yeah, and it's all lectures too. And if you guys know the classes in Lockett, the Lockett basement, and there's about 380 students in the class and 380 seats in the room we are in. So it takes up the entire class, and obviously, like as the semester goes on, like less and less people will show up. But that's what I'm saying. It's pretty crazy. And I have a good amount of friends in that class as well, so I can just like go to them like whenever I need help and stuff like that. So those are the classes that I take on Monday, Wednesday, Friday: the jogging, the journalism, and the kinesiology. And then I go back to my apartment, rest a bit, and then I hit the gym. It'll be whatever I want to do, whatever body part I want to work out, and then if it's not raining, if it's a hot day, I'll go swimming and stuff like that. Come back, take a shower, rest, go eat dinner, just do homework, and go to sleep. Because that's basically my entire day. Like I don't really do much throughout the day. It's just kind of like uh, a basic day. But obviously, like sometimes there'll be an event. Sometimes I'll have like an interview or something like that. Um, yeah, like I said, event that I'll go to that are like some organization related. So um, yeah, and then so we went over Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, and Thursday. It's slightly different in the morning, but the same in the afternoon. So Tuesdays and Thursdays, I get up at 7:30 a.m. So it's only an hour later, but it's still early. And go to the dining hall, eat breakfast. I normally get like an omelet with a lot of protein, and then just whatever. I drink a lot of orange juice. I'm drinking a lot of orange juice now, as some of my friends said, "Hey, drink a lot of orange juice. It'll really get you. Need that vitamin C." Um, so and then I have this advertising class, this intro to advertising class. There's about 90 students in it. It's about maybe 85% women, and just the other part men, including me. um but it's interesting how like the history of advertising, there's a lot of social issues with it and stuff like that. The earliest advertisements, they were obviously black and white, and they barely had any sound as well, and then it just continues to evolve and stuff like that. But my teacher is also really really funny. He's this Korean teacher, and he's really really funny. He definitely knows what he's talking. Excuse me. He definitely knows what he's talking about. That's for sure. And yeah, hopefully I can do well in that as well. I mean, the exams are not in Himes, but they're in class on our um, website. So yeah, so that's that. And then obviously there will be some days where I don't go to the gym, like I'll rest like my muscles and stuff like that. But sometimes, Tuesday, Thursday, I'll wait. I'll come back to my apartment and wait a little bit, because what I normally do is I eat, and then I wait maybe 3.5 hours before I go lift, to just try, like, digest myself. So then I go to the UREC, uh, do whatever body part I want, swim, come back, shower, rest, do some homework, make some content or something like that. Um, Upload a podcast episode, which I'm, re- doing right now, recording an episode, and go eat dinner, come back, maybe watch a show or something, maybe watch Netflix or something on Peacock or something like that. Homework, because I mean, even though I'm only taking 4 classes this semester. It's going to be very important that I just stay ahead, so I'm not, behind, because this semester should be easy, but you obviously never know what they're going to throw at me. So then I go to sleep, and that's the day. Like, I go to sleep early. I go to sleep earlier than I normally would, like like earlier than I've done, in past semesters, because I have to get, like, this amount of sleep. Like, I have to wake up at this time. The Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I wake up at 6:30. So I go to bed the previous days at around 10:30. That's 8 hours of sleep. I'm trying to get 8 hours of sleep every single night, and yeah, we just go with that. But when you want to talk about day in the life, Friday, it'll be, Friday in the nighttime, I'll probably go out to the house or something like that. Um, or I don't know if I'm gonna go out this Friday, because I know there's a hurricane hitting us, and I don't know if it's gonna affect, like, the bar's electricity or something like that. Hopefully it doesn't, but I don't know if it's gonna be. I don't know if many people are gonna be outside, since they're gonna be recovering from the hurricane. But um, and then weekends. Saturday game day. Saturday, it depends on the weekend if we have a home game or away game. So for the home games, yeah, it'll just be like a normal game day for me. I'll either go work at the stadium, in the food concessions of the stadium, or obviously I'll be in the student section for the game. And yeah, it gets pretty lit in the student section. And yeah, we just have a fun Saturday game day. And on the days where we don't host a home game, I just literally sit in my apartment and watch college football all day, and then go out, and then go out to the bars, like, at nighttime. So, and hey, if I wanna get into, broadcasting, gotta keep track of these games. You know what I mean? And then Sunday is obviously NFL Sunday, so I just watch the NFL games all day. Obviously, get some homework done in between. And yeah, that's pretty much that. I would like to try and get more active during the weekends. But yeah, I would definitely like to try and get more active on Sunday, see if I can, like, get a workout. And I can honestly probably just, like, do some push-ups and sit-ups in my apartment or something like that. Just something simple to just really, get myself going. Jumping jacks, burpees are really good. So yeah, those are days in my life. It's pretty simple. And if you do want to check out what if you do want to check out I did make a video of the first day of classes on my TikTok, so if you do want to go check that out. All right, let's do some college football talk, because I missed out on talking about week 1 last week. So we're going to go through the first 2 weeks of it or so. I got to say, I'm happy. I'm happy with the action we have gotten so far. We've had some great games, some insane upsets. NIU, I'm looking at you. And it looks like it's going to be a really good season in the first year of the 12 team playoffs. So let's go over the rankings to start. I'm going to pull them up right now. And there were a lot of changes into it, especially since the results that have happened with week 2. I'm going to give you my opinion on these rankings right now. So Georgia, I like where they are. They've looked pretty dominant so far. This is interesting. Texas moving up over Ohio State. I actually agree with it. I know there are some people that are going to disagree, but they went into Ann Arbor in one of the most hostile environments in the country, and they just shut them down. Texas looks like a national championship contender that is going to give some of the better teams in the country, like Georgia, Ohio State, a run for their money if they ever run into each other in like the semifinals or the quarterfinals. Ohio State is still top three, even though they have not played anyone. They still looked really good. Oh my gosh, Jeremiah Smith is definitely like the number one star on that team, like by far. And he's just a freshman. He's literally just played his first two games of college. I am so excited to see Jeremiah Smith in like in like some of the bigger games, like Michigan State, like Penn State, or something like that. He's gonna be phenomenal, and he might be a future first round pick as well. Will Howard has obviously been great. I mean, obviously they had quarterback issues last year. I mean, it did cost them a couple games. It did cost them that Michigan game. So you obviously build a roster. Ohio State's obviously building a roster to beat Michigan. So hopefully, maybe they can do it this year. We'll see. Alabama. It's interesting because they didn't look that good against South Florida. I think they were like 20-point favorites or something like that. It was a 1-point game like deep into the third quarter for them. So I don't know. It's a bit of a debate. I would honestly have Ole Miss above them. Ole Miss should be 4. Bama should be 5. I mean, I don't think Bama is I don't think Mizzou or Tennessee is better than Bama right now. But yeah, that's definitely something to keep an eye on, as Alabama will now go into Wisconsin to really prove themselves against in a really tough environment against a underrated Wisconsin team. So yeah, and I mean, Bama is 16-point favorites in that game, so we'll see how it plays out. Yeah, so Ole Miss has looked pretty good so far. Obviously, they haven't really played anyone either, but Jackson Dart has more incompletions. No, not more incompletions, more touchdown passes than incompletions in his first two games. So, that's pretty nice. Him and like Trey Harris been going off recently, with the first two games, and they're gonna be super tough to beat when they come here. They're gonna be yeah, this is why I say they are the toughest opponent on our schedule, because we know Ole Miss is going to be competing for that title. Alabama, we're not so sure with Kalen DeBoer. So yeah, then you have Mizzou. Mizzou's looked pretty good so far. I mean, I know they haven't really played anyone, but they have like one of the most underrated QB wide receiver duos in the country, Brady Cook and Luther Burden. I think Luther Burden should have gotten drafted like last year. I mean, did he? Did he say like he wanted to enter the draft or not? I don't remember, but glad he stayed back for another year to watch him in college again before he's ready for the big stage. Tennessee moving up 7 spots after taking down NC State by a lot. I am really high on Tennessee because obviously Nico Yamaleava. Oh my gosh, I cannot pronounce his name right for shit. Nico Yamaleava. I gotta pronounce his name right. But anyway, he's probably my favorite player in the SEC that's not on our team. This guy is insane. Like honestly, the whole Tennessee team in general is going to be great this year. Like they had 2 turnovers and they still put up 51 points. That is incredible. Like Tennessee. I know it's early, but look out for Tennessee to see if they're going to be a real threat in the SEC this year. And obviously, that defense is balling out too. They took down a ranked NC State team like easily in Charlotte, like in North Carolina. So wow, that's gonna be one hell of a team this year. Um, Penn State and Oregon, get them out of the top 10. Get Penn State and Oregon out of the top 10. Penn State, you struggled against an FCS team in Bowling Green, or not FCS, but a team you were heavily favored to beat. I think they were like 25-point favorites or something, and they only won by 7. They were trailing at halftime to Bowling Green. So yeah, I would get them out of the top 10. Oregon, I would also have out of the top 10 as well, because they have not looked good so far. They've been heavy favorites in both of their games, and they have struggled. They've struggled. I don't know what's going on with that offense and Dylan Gabriel, but they got to get their shit together quickly, or else not going to be able to compete in the Big Ten. And then I'd have probably Miami, USC, and Utah like take their places. Like Miami has looked insane so far. They have a very easy schedule. This might be Miami's time to if they win the ACC. Here's my theory. I think if Miami goes undefeated and wins the ACC, I really, really think Cam Ward should win the Heisman. Because yes, their schedule is easy, but he looks just so calm. He's just so calm back there, and it's like he doesn't feel pressure like at all. And that's what I love about Cam Ward this year is that transferred from Washington State to Miami, and he's done nothing but ball out so far. Obviously, yes, it was against Florida A&M, and the competition will get a lot tougher, but we'll see where it goes. USC has looked pretty good so far with Miller Moss and those dynamic brand of receivers. Utah struggled a little bit against Baylor, so they only moved down one spot. But it's okay. Utah's going to be really good this year with Cam Rising coming back. Oklahoma State moved up to 13 with a thrilling win over Arkansas. I like them there. Alan Bowman's been balling out. K-State moved up 3 spots. Oklahoma is there, and then us at 16. Michigan moved down 7 spots after losing to Texas. I think that's okay. Obviously this Michigan team really isn't as good as we thought they would be. Obviously, they don't really have a quarterback; they just have a defense, and that defense was getting shredded by Quinn Ewers and those dynamic receivers. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where Michigan goes from here. Obviously, hopefully they can figure it out soon. But yeah, it's not looking good so far. And then Notre Dame moved down 13 spots after probably what the biggest upset of the season so far, losing to NIU. Yeah, I guess we were wrong about them. There was so much promise after they beat Texas A&M. Like this team is different. Marcus Freeman is the reason why. I saw something like they need to reevaluate Riley Leonard. I think they need to reevaluate Marcus Freeman because he didn't have his team prepared like at all. Like obviously, yes, it's a 12-team playoff. Anything can happen, and they have a tough schedule. But hopefully it works out in the end for them because that's a really bad look for Notre Dame, and I know the whole country is laughing at them right now. But we'll see where they go from here. And then the top 25 ends with Louisville, moving up 3. Arizona, Iowa State is ranked after beating a ranked Iowa team. Well, they really took their place. Iowa was 21, and Iowa State just took their place after beating them. Clemson moves up 3. Nebraska, Boston College, and NIU. Let's go, NIU. Nebraska, Boston College, and NIU are now ranked. Nebraska, and honestly, I do have a little bit of a debate for these teams. There was obviously Illinois, Boise that could have been ranked, but I think I do like these 3 teams here. Nebraska, oh my gosh, Dylan Raiola. Dylan Raiola is a fucking stud, bro. He's gonna be insane. Patrick Mahomes-esque. Like I love how his favorite player is Patrick Mahomes, and that team's gonna be that team's going to be pretty good. I think they should be 7-0 by the time they play Ohio State. So yeah, we'll see if they can survive until they get to the Buckeyes. Boston College, yeah, they've looked good so far. They obviously beat, what was a ranked Florida State team, but we'll see where they go from here. They have to play Missouri on Saturday, so that's going to be a tough road test for them, but it's still a ranked matchup, so if they get that win, they're going to soar. And then Northern Illinois, great win for them. The biggest upset in the history of that program over Notre Dame, and we'll see where they go from here. Would love to see them ascend higher in the rankings. Hopefully they get more wins, they stack it up, and hopefully it goes well for them. Let me check out their schedule in the MAC. Buffalo, they play NC State. So yeah. Their schedule looks pretty favorable, so we'll see how they do. We'll see how they do in the MAC conference this year. So those are the rankings. I think I like them so far. Obviously, the main thing here for me is get Penn State and Oregon out of the top 10 because they didn't look good in their games. Individual performances through week 2. Oh, okay. Individual performances through week 2. I have Quinn Ewers because he just looks so calm back there. He's obviously a veteran, so he's been around this game for a while. But yeah, Quinn Ewers has obviously balled out, and he balled out against Michigan for sure. Cam Ward. Cam Ward. I mean, it started with that huge game against Florida, and Cam Ward was my Heisman pick after week 1 because of the way he just decimated that Florida defense, like in that hostile environment. Just absolutely no pressure on him um, at all. So yeah, Ashton Genty, Boise State running back. He has 459 rushing yards through 2 games. What the fuck? That's not even supposed to be possible. For this man is an absolute beast. Hopefully they continue that. Hopefully they can continue that as competition gets tougher. But we'll see. We'll see. But I'm loving Ashton Genty so far. Jackson Dart, obviously, like I said, has thrown more touchdown passes than incompletions. Obviously, as a tougher competition goes along, it's going to get tougher. But love the start that Jackson Dart has had so far. And I'm going to give an unsung hero right here. Kyle McCord. Dude has balled the fuck out at Syracuse. Like ever since he started, he led the team against a ranked Georgia Tech team. So oh my gosh, Kyle McCord has found a home in Syracuse, and hopefully they can keep that up in a pretty competitive ACC this year. So we'll definitely see about that. Overall team performances through week 2, I have Miami on here because they look like the best team in the SEC. So yeah, Texas with 2 big wins so far. Colorado State, obviously that's yeah Colorado State, but going into Michigan and beating Michigan in that place, that environment. Definitely something to behold. I have Tennessee on here because I really liked them so far, and their Nico, that defense, their receiver Squirrel White, and stuff like that. I would really not sleep on Tennessee this year because if they continue to do what they do, they're going to be a major threat. And then NIU, what a performance for them against Notre Dame, pulling off one of the biggest upsets ever. And yeah, and then I want to get into how does LSU look? Unfortunately, I will have to say that I was a little bit wrong about this team because unfortunately they don't look as good as I thought they would be. We have problems like up front on the offensive line, and we allow a lot of rush yards too. But yeah, it is a major problem. But hopefully Brian Kelly, gets this together. We go to a hostile environment in South Carolina. Game day is going to be there. There's a lot of pressure on us on Saturday. It's kind of like that prove it game. You know what I mean? And if we get that win on Saturday to start SEC play, I think we're going to look really good going forward because if we get those 4 victories by the time Ole Miss comes here, I think we'll be in good shape to do some damage because yeah, I mean Brian Kelly just has to have these guys better prepared. Like they were not prepared against USC. They were not really that prepared against Nichols, against the FCS school, and you were 45 point favorites against. Obviously, the choke against Southern California. That's all. That's I know that's a player's discipline thing, but it's just those small errors that are costing us right now. And then obviously up front. Like we're not good up front so far. We were talking about how we were going to be one of the best running teams in college football, one of the best D lines in the game, and so far they have not shown up like at all. But hopefully that changes. Hopefully the schemes work out better. Hopefully Blake Baker comes up with plans that'll work. That'll be more effective. Not sure why they're still dropping Perkins to in coverage when his strength is rushing the passer. But hey, it's only week 2. It's a long season, but this is a huge game against at South Carolina next week because it's more of like I said, it's that prove it game, and yeah, we'll definitely see how it goes. Underwhelming performances through week 2. I mean, I really only have two here. It's Notre Dame and Florida State. Notre Dame with that very disappointing loss against NIU, and Florida State. DJ Ukulele, Ukabuga, whatever you call him. I don't think he's a good quarterback at all. I don't think Florida State's just very good in general. I mean, obviously they were ranked 10th to start the season, but it was all that talking that we got robbed last year, and it's all for what now? Absolutely nothing. So we'll see if they can get it together. I mean, I think their season's over, obviously, and you have to navigate through a tough ACC. So we'll see. We'll definitely see. But I definitely think is Florida State football is back what it used to be. You know what I mean? Um, the best games we've seen so far, and obviously I forgot to put my week 1 of favorite games, but there were 2 overtime games that were just so good. Vandy versus Virginia Tech, and Abilene Christian gave Texas Tech everything they can handle, but Texas Tech avoided what would have been a massive upset there. And then week 2, Boise versus Oregon, that came down to the wire for some reason. Oregon, I don't know why. I don't know what's going on with Oregon right now, but it came down to a last-second field goal. And then Arkansas and Oklahoma State. OK State was trailing the entire game. Then they came all the way back to win it in double overtime. And K-State Tulane, the end of it got a little bit controversial, but that final Tulane touchdown was not a touchdown, so K-State winds up winning that game. Heisman favorites. There are a few. There are a few, but the main ones that I'm picking right now, I think right now the favorites are Cam Ward and Quinn Ewers. Those are, I think, the two absolute Heisman favorites right now. Um, yeah, they have just looked as good as they have in their entire careers, and if they continue to do what they do, they are going to be in contention for the Heisman the entire season, and maybe they lead their team to the playoffs or something like that. Best games to look forward to in week 3, and it starts on Friday with a big 12 showdown between Arizona and K State in Manhattan, 20 versus 14. Battle of great quarterbacks. Noah Fafita. Battle of great quarterbacks on Noah Fafita and Avery Johnson. So that's going to be a show for sure. And then Saturday we got a good slate. We got Alabama against Wisconsin. Boy, that environment in Wisconsin is going to be fired up. Have us against South Carolina. Game day is going to be there. Let's see. Boston College and Mizzou might turn out a good game. I know Mizzou is 17-point favorites, but we'll see if Boston College can prove everyone else wrong. It's a ranked game, ranked on ranked. So you never know. You never know. Oregon State, it's obviously a rivalry game, and even though Oregon is 16.5-point favorites, there's a lot of pressure on them because obviously they haven't looked that good so far, and Oregon State has nothing to lose in that game, so we'll see. We'll see. I actually would have preferred game day go there instead of South Carolina because it's like the only real rivalry game like of the weekend, but we'll see how it plays out. And then have an SEC showdown between Texas A&M and Florida. Okay, and then let's see what else we have. What else we have? We have, yeah, that's pretty much it. Georgia goes to Kentucky. Okay, 24-point favorites are Georgia. Ooh, we got the ultimate rematch: Colorado against Colorado State. This time from Fort Collins. So yeah, that's gonna be a great game. And yeah, that's pretty much the main action we got for week 3, and obviously it's gonna heat up from here. So yeah. All right. Why would we be here if we are not going to talk about September baseball and the push to the playoffs? It has been utter madness so far. Let's go over the standings. The Yankees lead the AL East by 1.5 games at this time. Cleveland leads the Central by 3.5. They've pretty much got that wrapped up. The Astros lead the West by 4.5. That's just an ultimate choke by the Mariners. Just absolutely unacceptable when you have the division in your hands. Phillies are going to win the East. Brewers and the Dodgers are going to win their respective divisions easily. But the wild cards is where it gets interesting. I mean, the AL wild cards are pretty much all wrapped up. So you have Cleveland, and well, you have us and Cleveland at the top 1-2. I mean, we're still fighting for that number 1 seed. We're a game ahead of it, so hopefully we can win enough to get that top seed. We do have a tough schedule. well, not only do we have to get that top seed, got to win the division as well. Like I do think if we win the division, we'll get that top seed. So and we do have like a pretty tough schedule at the same time. Not so much. We have KC. We have a 4-game series against the Red Sox, and that's absolutely huge because they're going to be fighting for the playoffs as well. They're 3 games back of the final wild card spot, so that series is going to be absolutely huge. And then we go out west to the Mariners and the A's. I think we should go 6-0 easily on that trip, and then the biggest series of the season against the Baltimore Orioles, and that'll probably be for the AL East title. As whoever comes away like winning that series, they'll probably just have to win a game or two against their final opponent, and then they'll win the division. So it looks like right now it's going to be it would be Houston and Minnesota in the wild card, and Baltimore and KC. This would be an incredible story for the Kansas City Royals making the playoffs for the first time in a while. I think it was it 2015 when they were last in the playoffs. So it's been a really, really long time. But it's good to see them in the playoffs again. And then in the NL, you got the Dodgers and the Phillies. Oh my God! Oh wow! The Dodgers and the Phillies have the same record for the top spot. So that's going to be huge. We'll see who gets the top spot. I don't know. The Brewers have also looked incredible this year. We'll see how far they go in the postseason. This is so unfortunate because you have the Padres and the Diamondbacks who would play each other in the wild card round. And that's just so unfortunate because you have the 2 hottest teams in the NL, and unfortunately, they're going to have to take each other out, which is just so damn unfortunate. And I also want to give a lot of credit to the New York Mets. They were one of the worst teams in the league, at around May, late May, or something like that. And all they have done is turn it around like we have never seen before. They're 79 and 65 right now. They're a game ahead of the Braves for the final wild card spot. They are a game back and a game and a half back of the Padres and the Diamondbacks. So they continue to be as hot as they are right now. They could jump up to the 5th or 4th spot. It would be an incredible story if the Mets do indeed make the playoffs and they do some damage. That's going to be a Mets team we're going to talk about for a while. Obviously, obviously I don't like talking about it because I'm a Yankees fan, but we obviously got to respect it. Here's the thing about my Yankees right now. We've had some inconsistencies. Like if you look here, we lost a series against the Cardinals and the Rangers, 2 series we should not lose. Lost a series against the Nationals. We lost we lost 3 series in a row before winning against the Cubs, and hopefully we can win this against the Royals. That kind of inconsistency when we lost those 3 series hopefully does not cost us in the postseason because obviously great teams, championship teams, they win series like you're supposed to win. They win games you're supposed to win, and we didn't do that like at the end of the month. Um, we'll see how it goes towards the end of September. And, obviously you have to get a good matchup as well. But really, I don't really care who we play in the playoffs because I know we can beat anybody in the entire league with this roster. Hey, it's really just got to come down to if they want it more, and if the starting pitching shows up, and it's really it's really just the pitching I'm concerned about because I'm not worried about the hitting. I know we have loaded weapons. Aaron Judge, Juan Soto, and then you have other guys like Giancarlo, Austin Wells, and other guys like that. It's really all about the pitching because Garrett Cole has not looked his best since he has returned. Rodon, I mean, he's looked better, but sometimes a little bit inconsistent. Marcus Stroman, um, Luis Hill, Luis Heel has been okay, but he's going to have to elevate his game when it comes to the postseason because we're going to need him to be clutch. Nasty Nestor has underachieved. The season obviously has a losing record when he was supposed to be the guy in replace of Garrett Cole, and he has not been that. So yeah, we'll see, and obviously going to come down to the bullpen. I do think we have a great bullpen besides Clay Holmes because he just hasn't shown. He just hasn't shown He's that number one closer. It's going to be like Ian Hamilton, Tonkin, Luke Weaver, other guys like that are probably going to close instead of Clay because he just hasn't shown that he's the guy to go to when the game is on the line. So, yeah, I mean, hopefully Clay can get his shit together because we're going to need him in the playoffs, or maybe we don't. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, I hope for a very exciting month of baseball, September down the stretch, and into the postseason. We will make our postseason predictions when we go throughout. Ah, yes, the NFL season has begun. And so, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you guys my NFL predictions. I made a TikTok out of them, and I'm going to show you them now, and then we can talk about NFL week 1. So, everything, all my predictions, I still have them. Like, I know it's been week 1, but I still mean it. Like, I still have if I were to say all my opinions right now, they would still apply to the video I'm about to show you right now. So here are my predictions. I know it's been a week already, but here are my predictions for the 2024 NFL season.
Fellas, I understand I've been MIA for the past week and a half or so. A lot's been going on recently, but we're here now. We're going to make some NFL predictions since the season starts tonight. We're going to do standings in the AFC and NFC, and then do awards. The AFC was a lot harder to predict than the NFC. Let's start with the AFC. The AFC North still goes to the Ravens. I think they're still the best team in there, despite it being the North being the best division in football by far. The Ravens, that AFC North is still theirs for the taking. Now they got Derrick Henry. Who knows what that offense is going to be at the end. I still think they have one of the best defenses in the league. The AFC West, still the Chiefs for the taking. Defending champs, they still got a great roster, and they're probably going to be even better like this year than last year, which is very, very scary. AFC South goes to the Texans. This is probably the team that I'm most looking forward to watching this year now that they got like Stephon Diggs, Joe Mixon, all those guys, CJ Stroud emerging as like a top quarterback. They're going to be super fun to watch. For the AFC East crown, this was actually a last second decision for me. And I'm going to take a risk here and go the Dolphins over the Bills because I think it'll finally be time when, they play up to their abilities. Tua will play up to that contract. He signed a massive-ass contract over the offseason, and I believe in him that he'll be able to play up to that level, and I believe that defense, which, they've had their ups and downs, they'll bounce back in a way to be elite this year. So wild cards in the AFC are also very interesting because there are a lot of teams that can make the playoffs as well, but I'm going to go the Bills, Bengals, and Jets. The Bills and Bengals are two teams that I'm not really worried about their offenses. I'm worried about their defenses because they did lose a lot of pieces in the offseason. So we'll just have to see how those two teams adapt. And the Jets, I'm going to give them a second chance because obviously Aaron Rodgers got injured. If he doesn't get injured, I think he'll play up to standard. I think he's going to just sling it around at the age of 40. He's got a bunch of great receivers, and obviously that Jets defense is one of the best in the entire NFL. So those are the AFC predictions. NFC West is right for the 49ers taking, and this is probably the last chance they're going to get a shot at the Super Bowl with this core. NFC North goes to the Lions. I think they're going to be even better this year than they are last year since that defense is going to be upgraded. And, who would have... Jared Goff also got paid as well. And I really think he's going to live up to that contract and play because that receiving core is just insane. NFC East was tough to pick, but I'm going to go the Eagles here simply because they are loaded with offensive talent now. And, they've added Saquon, they added Jahan Dotson, they added all those guys. So it's going to be exciting to see that Eagles offense this year. Defense obviously will still remain in question, but it'll be exciting to see. NFC South winner was also a very, very tough decision to make, but I am going to go the Buccaneers over the Falcons because I think the Bucs will carry over that success that they had late in the last year and that wild card win they have over the Eagles into this year, and I think that's going to pay off really well. Baker's going to be slinging it to Evans and Godwin. 3 NFC wild cards. There were 2 that were easy pickings for me. which were the Cowboys and the Packers. Cowboys, because they're still obviously loaded with talent, despite they didn't do anything in the offseason. But I still think they're going to be good this year. And the Packers, boy, when did we see that coming from Jordan Love and that really young offensive core? And obviously, that defense is still going to live up to the hype. And I'm excited to see like this version of the Packers this year, to see how they adapt to the success they had in the second half of last year. That last NFC wildcard spot, it's such a difficult decision because even though there are only about 3-4 teams that can make it, like either one of those teams can make it. But I'm gonna go with the Rams because I still think Matthew Stafford has it. They have an incredibly young core, and that core, the success that they had last year, is gonna carry over heavily to this year because of the success they had making the playoffs and everything. So that's gonna pay off really well. They have like the most rookies on the team this year as well, and Sean McVay is a fucking scientist, man. Right, now for the awards. Comeback Player of the Year will go to Aaron Rodgers, I think. I mean, that's honestly going to be so impressive how he comes back fucking 40 years old from a major injury and he still plays at the top level. That's going to be hella impressive. He is actually able to last like the entire season. Coach of the Year will go to DeMeco Ryans, a young mastermind in a second year with the Texans who is going to excel with his new weapons, Diggs and Mixon and all those other guys. And, they also vamped up that defense as well. So Ryans is going to be great. Defensive Player of the Year was very, very tough, but I'm going to go with Leatu Latu, incredibly disruptive defensive lineman for the Colts, drafted out of UCLA. Like I said, very disruptive, powerful, and he's going to make a name for himself early. Offensive Rookie of the Year, I'm going to go with our guy, Jaden Daniels. He's like the dual threat quarterback that every team dreams of. He's like the modern day Lamar, RG3, Michael Vick, whatever you can think of. He's going to be spectacular. They have to use him right, though. Commanders have to use him right. So hopefully they do, and hopefully they don't give him the RG3 treatment. Defensive Player of the Year will go to, I think, Micah Parsons. TJ Watt has had one. Myles Garrett has had one. Obviously Aaron Donald, Nick Bosa have all won them. So I think it is Micah Parsons' turn this year. Offensive Player of the Year will go to, I think, Tyreek Hill, coming off the voted number one player of 2024. I think he's going to have another spectacular season, and he'll probably get 1,700 yards. Maybe he could get 2,000. We'll see. Maybe he can actually break 2,000 this year, and Finally, the MVP. This was also very tough, and there were two on my mind because I feel like these two are due for one soon. But I only have to pick one, so I'm going to go with Joe Burrow. Obviously, the receivers he has around him are incredibly talented, and he obviously is just insane as well. Bro, honestly, if you dye your hair blonde like that, you gotta win the MVP. You gotta make some noise this year. You know what I'm saying? But nah, for real, I think he's gonna make an amazing comeback coming off that very tough injury that he suffered in the middle of the season, and he's gonna return to form.
All right, hope you guys enjoyed those predictions. Let me guys know in the comments what you think, what your predictions are, and then we can talk about it. But let's go over week one, because week one passed by. Ravens and the Chiefs, that came down to the wire, came down to an Isaiah Likely toe. But both quarterbacks played very well. Lamar Jackson especially. I think he's gonna have another MVP caliber season. He was that close to probably delivering a win. Eagles and the Packers played a great game in Brazil. Very unfortunate that Jordan Love got injured in the end, but they had to do something about that. They got to do something about that turf going forward. But I don't really know if it was the turf necessarily, but we'll see. Panthers and the Saints. Saints dominated. Derek Carr looks really good. Rashid Shaheed looks also really good as well. The Panthers are just not a good football team. Bryce Young is not prepared at all, and it's. I feel like it's all David Tepper. I feel like it's all David Tepper, like the owner, that the reason why the team ain't good right now. I think he needs to sell the team, new ownership for the Panthers, and we'll see. Vikings and the Giants. I know the Giants aren't very good, but bro, Sam Darnold balled out on Sunday. He was phenomenal. Giants don't score a touchdown. I don't know why. I don't know why they think like Daniel Jones like is a good starting quarterback. But we'll see if they prove us wrong. But I feel bad for like all those receivers, like especially Malik Neighbors. Like, dude's projected to do really well this year, and unfortunately, he has Daniel Jones at quarterback. So, unfortunately, so hopefully that changes. Very very disappointing performance from the Bengals. I thought they were going to show out much more, obviously with Joe Burrow's new hair and stuff like that. Patriots went in there and got the win somehow. Biggest upset of the weekend. But yeah, Bengals are going to have to fix shit because they go to Kansas City next weekend. And that's not going to be easy. Steelers and the Falcons. Justin Fields looked okay. But obviously the hero of that game was Chris Boswell, as he made 6 field goals. Let's see. Well, Chris Paul, yeah, he made 6 field goals, all 18 points. That's such a Steeler win. That's actually the most Steelers win possible. But Kirk Cousins looks injured. They invested all that money in him, and so far it has not worked out. But obviously, it's just week one, so we'll see where they go from here. They have Monday Night Football against the Eagles, so they'll probably start 0-2, 0-3, since they have the Chiefs the following week. But yeah, Texans and the Colts. That was such a good game between two young up and rising quarterbacks, CJ Stroud and Anthony Richardson. The deep ball was working for Anthony Richardson. So hopefully that continues. And CJ Stroud, I'm really expecting big things from him in year two. Cardinals and the Bills. Kyler Murray played really well, but Josh Allen is going to be in MVP contention this year. Dude just was a superhero in that game. Titans and the Bears. That's an unbelievable choke by the Titans. Obviously, Caleb Williams did not look good in his debut, but it's just game one. Hopefully that changes going forward. They have Houston on Sunday Night Football next week. So yeah, and then it was the Bears defense that made all the plays. And hey, maybe if the Bears defense can continue to make those plays, they're going to be the ones that are going to carry. Such an insane situation that happened at the Dolphins game on Sunday with Tyreek Hill getting detained by police for whatever reason, but the game went down to the wire. I thought Trevor Lawrence was pretty good, and the Tua and Tyreek connection is still going well, but yeah, the Dolphins came away on a Jason Sanders 52-yard field goal. Broncos and the Seahawks, and Bo Nix was forced to throw 42 times. I don't think that's the recipe for success. I think when you have a young quarterback in his debut, you have to make it easy for him. You have to establish a run game, and the rushing attack was not good at all. So the Broncos are going to have to fix that. They're going to be competitive. And Geno Smith made some plays. He had a big rushing touchdown, and Kenneth Walker had a 100-yard game. Seahawks get that win. Raiders and the Chargers. I thought the Raiders just looked flat. And then, J.K. Dobbins. What a Chargers debut he had. He had, how many did he have? How many rushing yards did he have? 135. 135, phenomenal. So yeah, they look good, and Jim Harbaugh wins his first game back in the NFL. That's great to see. Cowboys and the Browns. Dak looked good ever since getting paid. Deshaun Watson looks absolutely awful. I don't think he's a starting quarterback anymore in this league. But hopefully, time will tell. Time will tell if he's still got it. But Commanders and the Buccaneers. I thought Jaden looked good in his debut. I saw this thing that they wanted Jaden to throw more. No, his strength is a dual threat quarterback. Why would you want him to throw more? I know he has great accuracy and he fires bullets across the field, but you gotta play to his strengths. You gotta fucking play to his strengths, man. But yeah, and then obviously Baker Mayfield, Mike Evans, and Chris Godwin looked really, really good. Baker, I said I don't think the Buccaneers are going to have that rust from the success they had last year. I think they're going to. I think the Bucs are going to be better this year than they are last year. And then what a great game between the Rams and the Lions. It went to overtime. Matthew Stafford and Jared Goff both played really, really well. And I'm telling you, man, the Lions are a Super Bowl contender. Lions are going to be Super Bowl contenders this year, especially with that upgraded defense they have. They're going to be special this year. And finally, the Jets and the 49ers. It's just good to see Aaron Rodgers back out there. Like, even though they didn't get the win, Aaron Rodgers just being back out there, really, really good story. But then you have the 49ers, and then you have the unsung hero, Jordan Mason, who rushed for 147 yards and a touchdown. This was without Christian McCaffrey. Bro, so it's like the 49ers and the Lions and the Eagles are the three best teams in the NFC right now. And obviously they're all going to be competing for the Super Bowl. If I had to pick one, that's very, very tough. I think it's too early to tell right now, like who's the best team of the three in the NFC. But obviously they have Brock Purdy. The 49ers have Brock Purdy. They have all the weapons they have to get over the hump. They just can't choke. They just can't choke again. So, yeah. So my first 3 weeks here in my fifth semester here have been pretty crazy with ups and downs. You know, people just agreeing with me or not trusting me as well. And then there's this one moment that I had at the house. It was just like this random guy just came up to me and he just started yelling at me for no reason. Like I didn't know the guy at all. He just started yelling at me, like claiming I was talking shit to him, but at the same time I'd never seen him in my life. I didn't know him, so I had to fight back, like as best as I could with my words. Obviously, we didn't get into a fist fight, but yeah, I had to fight back with my words as best I could to just say, um, hey, I don't know you. I was never talking shit to you, and it didn't work for some reason. I don't know why, but I had David like right beside me, so if anything happened, like he would obviously be there, but it was crazy, and that's just a warning to everyone. Just please be careful, like of your surroundings. Please be careful of what you go through because crazy shit happens all the time. You have these drunk. I mean, I don't know if he was drunk, but sometimes you have these drunk ass motherfuckers that they think they can just do whatever they want, and sometimes they do stupid shit, and yeah, that was a case where that drunk ass motherfucker was not thinking, and he just came up to me for no apparent reason, and I got overwhelmed. I got overwhelmed, so I started yelling at him like intensely. And if you ever saw that video, that's the reason why. So now you've heard my side of the story, and yeah, just make sure you be careful, you be safe, and we go from there. I do also want to talk about my first game day of the semester because it was a chaotic one. It was very, very chaotic. I woke up at around. Woke up. Yeah, I mean, I woke up normal time. I just sat here for the entire time just watching college football. But then I went to the stadium at around 1:30. Checked it. I worked at the food concessions of Tiger Stadium. I started working there at around 2 p.m. and didn't leave until the game ended. So that's about maybe 8 hours of constant work, nonstop, no breaks, no nothing. Only break we really get is when we don't have any customers, and then you can take a breath. But it was like, well, obviously we didn't have at our stand. We didn't have like all the materials, the stuff like that. What we didn't have popcorn. We didn't have like the proper nacho trays. We didn't have an oven for like the hot dogs and burgers and stuff like that. So we just had to go with what we had. Um, it was crazy. Obviously, it was, and not all of the staff showed up. Like our stand lead didn't show up, so that's why I requested to be a stand lead, like for the UCLA game, so I can have everything under control, and I can tell, I can like I can like have everything under control or something like that because I have enough experience with that job for me to like say okay, I can be a stand lead and stuff like that. But yeah, it was like the most chaotic part was like from around like when the gates open from like 4:45 till like the end of the first half. Like though that time is when it's like the most chaotic, and it's like 2-3 hours of just nonstop just trying to feed the customers food. It was absolutely crazy. I got no breaks, no breaks. I was sweating like crazy, and at times I was like, bro, I am so fed up with this shit. I cannot do it anymore. Sorry, guys, I am losing my voice right now because I've been talking for so long. But yeah, and I think the worst part about it is that you have like they obviously like get Bud Light, Michelob Ultra, and you have to screw the caps off with your bare hands, and as a result, I got like blisters and cuts from them, and yeah, that was not good. I know there's a specific way to open up the beer bottles, but yeah, I'll remember that for next time, and hopefully the next working day will go on a lot better. Hopefully we will have all the materials, and hopefully we have more staff, because that's just not good for the staff to just not show up at all. Like, did something happen? Like you were given instructions. Like, you know where to go. Like, you should get here like early on time. So obviously, I'm not gonna blame them. I have my boss. My bosses have my back. So yeah, hopefully it gets better from there. We do have a hurricane coming, so hopefully we stay safe. Classes are canceled for Wednesday and Thursday, so yeah, we just have to. You guys can watch this episode, by the way. I've also been watching a lot of Love Island too. I'm halfway through season 6. I love it so far. My favorite characters are obviously Kayla and Olivia, because obviously I'm a blondie type of guy. So yeah. Okay, and finally, we're gonna talk about what happened on my TikTok live last night. So Tuesday night. It was just a normal TikTok live. It lasted the longest I had ever gone on TikTok live. It lasted almost 2 hours. I had my friends Maritza and Taylor on there, and and they kept reading the comments, and the comments are just like immature high school, middle school, like immature high school or middle school like type comments, and I just feel like that's like not good, because it just shows like you're not mature, you're not ready to be on a TikTok live or something like that. So hopefully the comments get better from there, but yeah, it was rough to see, and I felt really bad for Maritza and Taylor, because obviously they're my good friends, and it just sucked to see them go through that. So yeah, and then when I had my friend Lewis on, there was this guy who really wanted to come on here, and and I was like, no, I don't know him, I don't want to let him on. And then I was like, okay, well, like he was donating a lot of roses, so I was like, okay, let's let him on. And then this happens. Louis, we get Ross in.
Bro, go for it. Get Ross in here. I just hope Ross doesn't
I
do
know,
something.
I know. Yeah, I know.
Oh my fucking god! It's this fucking tiger cheese! Tiger cheese! Tiger cheese! I fucking love you! Tiger cheese!
Oh no! Oh my god, my phone! My phone!
Chuck, can you save that?
No, I forgot this. Wait, can I save these?
Dude,
Can I like say
that was fucking awesome.
that is going on the podcast?
Why'd you kick him out?
Because I did not expect that.
Dude, that was legit, dude. That was some legit shit right there.
Holy shit! Oh my god. Okay, I need a moment.
That was some legit business, dude. That was absolutely
insane. Like, that was probably like one of the funniest and craziest moments I've ever had on a TikTok live. And I will absolutely never ever forget it. Yeah, and then we let him on again, and he started cursing me out for some reason. I don't know why, but I didn't really care that he was cursing me out because like I would yeah, I didn't really care he was cursing me out as well because I've been cursed out worse. And obviously I don't really care if people curse me out. Like, I just put that shit aside. I'm like, whatever. I don't really care. Fuck you as well, stuff like that. You know what I mean? But then I let some of my boys on, and then we just had fun. We had a rap battle. We did like freestyles and stuff like that. I was like playing beats and stuff like that. It was very very fun, and you guys should definitely join like my TikTok live to have some moments and stuff like that. All right, fellas, that is going to do it for episode 12 of the Yap House Podcast. Make sure you guys like and subscribe and share with other people so we could really get the subscriber count up. Really looking forward to having more guests on here. Yeah, I know it has not been easy, but obviously the rule with my guests is that I have to know you well. I have to know you well. Like, if I don't know you, you're not going to be on here. So yeah, I have a lot of people in mind that I want to be on here, and I'm going to try to make a schedule for them, but I obviously need their cooperation as well. So, but anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching episode 12. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I hope you guys have a great day.